Imagine a machine that costs nothing, takes up zero space, and runs entirely on your own body weight. Yet it can strengthen your chest, protect your heart, improve your posture, and even sharpen your focus. That machine is the floor beneath you. Most people think real change demands an hour in the gym, complicated routines, or heavy weights. But the body does not care about drama, but responds to consistent signals. So here's the real question. What actually happens if you do 20 push-ups every single day? First, let's be clear. If you have shoulder injuries, uncontrolled high blood pressure, heart disease, or chronic wrist pain, speak to your doctor before starting. Once you are cleared, form matters more than speed. Hands under shoulders, body straight, core tight, elbows at about 45 degrees, not flared wide. If 20 is too hard, use your knees. If it is too easy, slow the reps down. The goal is stimulus, not ego. Now let's talk biology. The moment you lower yourself for that first rep, your nervous system switches on. Your brain starts recruiting muscle fibers in your chest, shoulders, and triceps. Inside those muscle cells, stored ATP is used instantly for energy. Within seconds, your phosphocreatine system helps refill that ATP so you can keep moving. By around rep 8 to 12, especially if you move steadily, your body begins relying more on anaerobic glycolysis. That means it is breaking down glucose without enough oxygen to meet demand. Lactate starts building up. That burning sensation in your arms and chest, that is normal. It is a temporary shift in muscle chemistry, not damage. On a microscopic level, tiny disruptions form in the muscle fibers of your chest and triceps. This is not injury. It is the trigger for adaptation. Your immune system responds. Blood flow increases. Repair processes begin. Protein synthesis is activated, so those fibers can rebuild slightly stronger than before. You will probably feel sore the next day, especially if you have not trained in a while. That stiffness is simply your body saying, "We received the signal." By the end of the first week, something interesting happens. The shaking decreases. The reps feel more controlled. Your muscles have not grown much yet. What changed is your nervous system. Your brain has become more efficient at recruiting the right muscle fibers in the right sequence. This is called improved neuromuscular efficiency. You are stronger, even if your mirror does not show it. At the same time, your core has been working harder than you realize. Every push-up is a moving plank. Your abs and lower back are stabilizing your spine while your arms move. As this improves, you may notice you sit straighter without thinking about it. Your heart responds too. Even though 20 push-ups take only about a minute, your heart rate rises enough to challenge your cardiovascular system. Over time, these repeated short efforts can improve stroke volume, meaning your heart pumps slightly more blood with each beat. And all of this started from a movement that takes less than 2 minutes. By the second week, something changes. The push-ups no longer feel like a struggle. You drop down, press up, and instead of shaking halfway through, you feel control. That is your body moving from repair mode into upgrade mode. Here's what is happening behind the scenes. Those tiny disruptions you created in week 1 triggered muscle protein synthesis. Your body uses dietary protein to rebuild the damaged fibers slightly thicker and stronger. This process is regulated by pathways like mTOR, which responds directly to resistance training. You are not suddenly gaining massive size from 20 push-ups a day, but you are increasing lean muscle in your chest, shoulders, and triceps. Your tendons are adapting too. Tendons connect muscle to bone, and they respond to repeated mechanical loading by increasing collagen production. Research shows that consistent resistance exercise improves tendon stiffness and resilience over time. This is important because stronger tendons reduce injury risk and improve force transfer. Your bones are also receiving a signal. Push-ups load your wrists, forearms, and upper arms with your body weight. That mechanical stress stimulates bone remodeling through cells called osteoblasts. Over time, this supports bone density, which becomes especially important as we age. Your metabolism gets a quiet boost as well. Muscle tissue burns more energy at rest than fat tissue. Even a small increase in lean mass slightly raises your resting metabolic rate. It might be subtle, but it adds up over months. Around week 3 or 4, you may notice definition in your shoulders, a firmer chest, better posture. But the real win is structural. You are building stronger cables, denser bone, and a slightly more efficient engine. Now let's talk about something most people never connect to push-ups. Your brain. You would not think that 20 reps on the floor could affect your mood or focus, but resistance training does more than build muscle. When your muscles contract repeatedly, they release signaling molecules called myokines. These travel through your bloodstream and communicate with other organs, including the brain. One of the key downstream effects of regular resistance exercise is an increase in BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as support for your brain cells. It helps existing neurons survive and encourages the growth of new connections. Studies consistently show that strength training, even in short sessions, can improve cognitive function and working memory over time. There is also the stress hormone angle. When you perform a short bout of resistance exercise, cortisol may rise briefly during the effort. That is normal. But over time, regular training improves your body's ability to regulate stress. Baseline cortisol levels can become more stable, which means better focus and less of that wired but tired feeling. And yes, hormones like testosterone respond too. In men and women, resistance training can cause a small, temporary increase in testosterone immediately after exercise. 20 push-ups will not turn you into a bodybuilder, but that repeated signal helps maintain healthy hormone balance, especially as we age. There is also a psychological effect. Completing 20 push-ups daily builds self-efficacy. You prove to yourself that you can follow through. That consistency reduces mental friction in other areas of life. So you are not only training your chest, you are training your stress response, your focus, and your confidence. And the long-term effects are even more interesting. Now, fast forward 3 months. 90 days of 20 push-ups a day equals 1,800 repetitions. That is 1,800 times you asked your muscles, bones, heart, and brain to adapt. At this point, you are not testing yourself anymore. It's your new baseline. Let's start with the heart. There was a well-known study published in JAMA Network Open in 2019 that followed active men. Researchers found that those who could perform more than 40 push-ups had a dramatically lower risk of cardiovascular events compared to those who could do fewer than 10. The exact number is not magic, but the pattern is clear. Upper body muscular endurance was strongly associated with heart health. If you are doing 20 daily, your capacity is likely improving, and that reflects better cardiovascular fitness and muscular endurance working together. Now, blood sugar. Your muscles are one of the main places where glucose is stored and used. When you repeatedly activate them, you improve insulin sensitivity. That means your cells respond better to insulin and move glucose out of the bloodstream more efficiently. Over time, this lowers the strain on your pancreas and reduces risk factors linked to type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome. There is also body composition. Even small increases in lean muscle mass improve how your body partitions calories. More muscle means slightly higher daily energy expenditure even at rest. Over months, that helps stabilize weight. And here is something subtle but very powerful. Your body now expects movement, your joints feel more stable, and your shoulders feel stronger during daily tasks. Carrying groceries feels easier. Pushing open heavy doors feels normal. You are no longer someone trying to exercise. You are someone whose body has adapted to strength. But even good habits have limits, and this is where smart progression matters. Now let's slow down for a second. 20 push-ups a day is powerful, but only if you respect the mechanics. The biggest mistake people make is thinking more reps automatically mean more benefit. The truth is, poor form repeated daily is simply poor stress repeated daily. Let's talk about the shoulders. If your elbows flare straight out to the sides, forming a T shape, you increase stress on the front of the shoulder joint. Over time, that position can irritate the rotator cuff tendons, especially the supraspinatus. When that tendon repeatedly rubs under the acromion, you risk developing shoulder impingement. It does not happen overnight, but it builds slowly through repetition. The fix is simple. Keep your elbows tucked roughly 30 to 45 degrees from your body. Think about lowering with control and pushing the floor away, not just locking your elbows hard at the top. Now about the wrists. Push-ups place your wrists in extension under load. If you already have limited wrist mobility, you may feel discomfort. You can modify it by using push-up handles, dumbbells, or doing them on your fists to keep the wrist neutral. Small adjustments make the habit sustainable. The second issue is plateau. Your body is incredibly efficient. After several weeks, 20 push-ups may stop feeling challenging. When that happens, the biological signal for further adaptation weakens. You are now maintaining, not improving. This does not mean you suddenly need 100 push-ups. It means you need progression. The simplest way is tempo. Lower yourself for 3 seconds. Pause briefly at the bottom. Push up in 2 to 3 seconds. Increasing time under tension increases muscular demand without increasing total reps. That reactivates protein synthesis pathways and keeps strength improving. Another option is variation. Close grip push-ups emphasize triceps. Slightly elevated feet increase chest and shoulder demand. Even alternating hand positions week to week keeps the nervous system engaged. And here's something important. Recovery is still very important, even with only 20 reps. Sleep supports muscle repair and hormone balance. Adequate protein intake, roughly 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight for active adults, supports adaptation according to sports nutrition research. If your body could speak after 3 months of consistent, well-executed push-ups, it would say thank you for reinforcing the joints, for stimulating the heart, and for preserving muscle in a world designed for sitting. 20 push-ups a day is not extreme. It is controlled stress. And controlled stress is how the human body stays strong. Now let's bring this home. So what really happens when you do 20 push-ups a day? Yes, your chest gets firmer. Your shoulders look more defined. Your arms feel stronger. But that is surface level. The deeper change is structural and metabolic. You have reinforced your joints with stronger tendons. You have stimulated bone remodeling in your wrists and arms. You have improved insulin sensitivity by activating muscle daily. You have given your heart small, repeated challenges that improve efficiency. You have supported healthier stress regulation and cognitive sharpness through consistent resistance training. You changed your identity. When you commit to something small and do it daily, your brain rewires around consistency. Behavioral research shows that habits become automatic when they are simple, repeatable, and linked to a cue. 20 push-ups takes less than 2 minutes. That makes it frictionless. No commute, no equipment, no decision fatigue. Over time, this small act spills into other behaviors. People who maintain simple exercise habits are more likely to make better food choices, sleep more consistently, and stay active throughout the day. It becomes a keystone behavior. And unlike extreme programs that burn out in weeks, this is sustainable. The minimum effective dose keeps the body adapting without overwhelming it. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. That is 7,300 push-ups. Not in one brutal session, but spread across days. That is, then reinforced shoulders, a stronger heart, better posture, and control over your body. So here's the question. Can you give your body 2 minutes today in exchange for stronger muscles, better metabolic health, and sharper focus? If today is day 1, say it. Commit to it. Keep it simple and stay consistent. Your biology is ready. The only thing missing is the push.